Greetings, one and all, and welcome to episode number 20. That's right, an even 20. 20 episodes of thoughts and hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. It's your boy Stony back. Sorry we're a little bit late this weekend, but we're still going to get you plenty of time to get down and get your books and call them all in for all of today's action on this Saturday. We're 1 week ahead of Super Bowl, so we won't give you all of that until next week. There's good news and bad news. The bad news is for all of you NFL heads, the NFL season's coming to an end. But that's good news for us because our numbers have just been taking a hit with the NFL. Last week we went 0-4 in NFL picks. All four games, both games with both sides and totals. Lost all four, went 0-4, dropped our season total down to 51.4%, which is below the magic 52% in order to make money. So the NFL has just been killing us. 51.4% is just unacceptable, but we're happy there's only one game left, so how much damage can one game do? As far as all the others, NCAA football, which is over and done with, 62.14%, awesome for the season. And NCAA hoops, we went 10-7 last week, another solid week, which gave us an even 61% on the season. So you can see where we've been making money for you. The NFL just hasn't been our gig this year. Well, anyway, this week is NFL free. We're not doing it. So, to all my favorite scumbags, lowlifes, hustlers, hoodlums, fienders, and degenerates, welcome back. Stony is here for round number 20. Who would have thought we would have gotten to 20? But we're getting there. We're going to keep climbing and keep climbing. We're going to take the summer off and then come back and hit you hard in August with college football, and we'll be ready to roll. So anyway, in the meantime, get ready, get your college hoop fix on. Our numbers, college hoop-wise, 61, 39, and 1 on the season. That's top-notch, 61%. You can't go wrong with that. All we've been doing is delivering and delivering W's, documented, right in your face. Here they are. Here's all of our picks, and they're here for you. And they're all free. So anyway, here we go. Let's start off with the action going on today, this Saturday. Alabama versus Oklahoma. This is the Big 12 SEC Challenge. And it's going to be, there's some really good matchups here. And I'm looking forward to a lot of really good games here. Well, the first one is Bama at OU. And OU right now has won 4 in a row. They got up to, they're ranked number 24 in the country. They're playing really good ball right now. They've hold on, what am I looking at? I don't even figure this out. Well, anyway, OU is playing good ball. All right, well, let's just start with them. They're playing really good ball, and they got their share of upsets in the Big 12, and the Big 12 is loaded, absolutely loaded, much more loaded than the SEC is this year. And OU's a tough out, especially at home. That's why they're 1.5-point favorites against one of the hottest teams in college basketball. Bama comes in winners of 10 straight. They're now ranked number 9 in the nation. Senior guard John Petty Jr. has just been incredible. He leads 5 players from Bama in double figures, and the way Bama's been cruising right now, there's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So OU's won 4 straight, and that's good. And like I said, they're a good ball club. But until somebody can knock off Bama, we're going to keep taking them because Bama keeps doing it. And you're going to give us a 1.5. We'll take the short dog on the road in Norman and go Bama. Roll Tide. Game number 2, we've got classic ACC matchup, Clemson and Duke, and in Durham. Both teams kind of got off the schneid. Both teams had lost 3 in a row. Duke, when was the last time you've seen Coach K throwing high fives on the sideline? They lost 3 in a row, and they beat Georgia Tech, and Coach K was all excited after his meltdown. I don't know if you saw the meltdown that he had with the student reporter in Durham last week, which was just brutal for a guy of Coach K's stature. But now we know why why Coach K didn't want to play the season to begin with, because his team's not very good. right? That's the bottom line. They do have some ball players, some freshmen, and they're 5.5-point favorites today against Clemson. And Clemson, the problem with Clemson is Clemson came in and they were doing everything defensively and they were rolling. But all of a sudden, for some reason, they stopped playing defense the last couple games and they lost 3 in a row and it bit them in the ass. But now they're back. They got it together. They came back. They got a big win over Louisville the other day, and they looked a lot better. So we think their defense is going to hold Duke down today. Don't get me wrong, Duke probably wins this game, but at 5.5, we'll take the dog on the road. Game number 3, we head off to the Big East, Providence and Georgetown. This is a good matchup right here. Two teams aren't very good, but it's a good matchup number-wise for us. Georgetown cannot rebound, and they cannot play defense. They've been having serious problems, and lately they've been having problems putting the ball in the basket. They're coming back off of their COVID break where they missed 3 games, and they lost to Syracuse coming back from it. On the other hand, Providence has won 3 out of 5. Some of them, not too good. Even the games they lose, but they're covering. That's the problem with Providence. Providence is one of those teams that's always in the mix. We're going to take them a short 3.5-point favorite, which is nothing at Georgetown. So we're going to take the Friars minus 3.5 on the road. Next up, Texas Tech and LSU. Here's another good matchup, SEC and Big 12. LSU, they were cruising. They were rolling along, but they lost 2 in a row to Alabama and Kentucky, and then they came back and bounced back with a win the other day on Wednesday against Texas A&M. Cameron Thomas still seems to lead that team. That freshman is just incredible. He's just a scoring machine. But LSU kind of lost their way there. Yes, Bama and UK, but UK is not the UK that we've known for all these years. Today they're up against Texas Tech, and people forget Texas Tech was in the national championship game, the most recent national championship game. They lost in overtime to Virginia, and people forget that. Texas Tech comes in ranked 10th. They're 11-5 in the mighty, mighty Big 12. They're playing good ball. They beat Texas, and then they lost 2 in a row. They lost to Baylor and West Virginia. Absolutely no crime in that. Then they came back, bounced back with a win over Texas. And Marcus McClung, the transfer from Georgia, has really done damage for Texas Tech. He leads the Red Raiders right now in scoring. And we're going to take Texas Tech. We're going to lay the 3.5 on the road in Baton Rouge and watch the Raiders win this one going away. Next up, another one that we see is going away, SEC Big 12 matchup, Mizzou versus TCU. TCU's a mess right now. They're 9-6. They've lost 4 in a row. After they had 3 games postponed, they came back and lost 4 in a row. West Virginia, Texas Tech, those are all good teams. Don't get me wrong, but it's the manner in which they've been losing games. They're just, lately they haven't really been competitive. Mizzou, outside of Alabama, is probably the hottest team in the nation. Granted, they lost to Auburn the other day. We get that. But they'd won 6 out of 7 before that. They come in ranked 12th. They're 10-3 on the season. And they're laying a big number on the road here, but we're going to lay them all. We're going to lay all 10.5 points, and we're going to dance with Mizzou. Florida versus West Virginia, SEC Big 12 matchup. West Virginia comes in ranked 10th, right? They're playing really, really good ball. They've won 2 in a row, and the last one was a buzzer beater win over Texas Tech just the other day. And they've lost 3 out of 5, but out of those 3, or all 3 losses were less than 4 points. So West Virginia is always in the mix. Bob Huggins has done a fantastic job with this team. And they're 6.5-point favorites today, but we're going to go the other way. We're going to take Florida in this one, and here's why. Florida's won 4 out of 5. They're 9-4, and they're starting to get their feet under them now. Keontae Johnson, they know they're not going to get him back for the rest of the year. He was a preseason All-American that had the heart ailment, and he's been out, so he's not playing, and they're not going to get him back. But now they're starting to adjust to life without him, and they're starting to play a lot better. So they're sitting at 9-4 right now, and we're going to take them on the road plus 5.5, especially if you're going to give us the points. Next up, we move to the Big Ten. Wisconsin, Penn State. Wisconsin right now is big, bad, strong. They're playing good ball. They've won 4 out of 5. Penn State's 5-7. They've lost 3 out of 5. And Wisconsin comes in at 13-4 with a number 14 ranking, which will soon get back into the top 10. This is a top 10 team, no doubt. And this is a legit Final Four contender, depending on what type of draw they get come tournament time. But Wisconsin minus 3.5, we're going to lay them on the road. Next up, Villanova and Seton Hall, back to the Big East. Nova right now is ranked 3rd in the country. They had their COVID break with, they missed 4 games, but since then, they've won both games. They come in ranked number 3 in the nation. They're still 11-1, right? They're still incredible. Jay Wright's got everything going, and they're playing great ball. Seton Hall, on the other hand, is they've lost 3 out of 4. They're down to 9-7, and Nova right now is looking to put a stranglehold on the Big East. We all know they're the best team in the Big East, but these are the games that they need to prove it, and they can distance themselves from anybody else that thinks that they're a contender. Next up, Auburn versus Baylor, another SEC Big East challenge. Baylor, number 2 in the country. What can you say? 15-0, undefeated. They look like they're on a collision course right now with Georgetown to meet in the NCAA finals, depending on seedings. And Baylor, I just haven't been able to get a gauge on them. If I take them, they don't cover. If I go against them, they cover. Well, this time they're laying 14.5 to a really good Auburn team. Auburn's won 4 out of 5. They're 10-7. They're a good team, and they don't really get blown out. They seem to hang in there with the best that the SEC has to offer. Well, today they're going up against the best that the NCAA has to offer. And Baylor is going to win this game going away, but 14.5, we'll take them, and we'll take the Tigers. Arkansas, Oklahoma State, more of the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Good matchup here in Stillwater. Oklahoma State's 10-4. They're playing good ball, but Arkansas comes in, winners of 3 straight. They're 13-4, and you're going to give us 2.5? We'll take the Hogs on the road. Xavier, Butler, as we go rapid fire here down the stretch. Xavier, Butler, back to the Big East. This one's in Hinkle Fieldhouse. Butler just hasn't found their way, period. They're 5-8. They're not having a good season. Xavier, on the other hand, is 10-2. Butler, a 1.5-point favorite. This one smells fishy. It smells like a trap. We're going to go against the trap. We're going to take Xavier because that's the pick that makes sense. Musketeers plus 1.5 on the road. Probably the biggest game of the week. These are the 2 teams that were expected to be at the top of the SEC and the Big 12, and they're not. And both teams kind of need this one, but it's Tennessee and KU. Kansas heads into Knoxville today at 11-5 with a number 15 rank, and Tennessee, on the other hand, is 11-3 with an 18 rank, and Tennessee right now needs this one, I think, more than Kansas, because everybody realizes how tough the Big 12 is, and another loss for Kansas isn't going to kill them. It might cost them the Big 12, but Baylor looks like they're running away with it anyway. If Tennessee needs to keep pace with Alabama, then they're going to need this one. So Tennessee at home laying 2.5, we're going to take the Vols. Another good matchup in the ACC, Virginia Tech, a rivalry matchup. Virginia Tech comes in ranked 20th. They're playing good ball. They've won 3 out of 4, and they're 12-3. They're playing really good ball lately. But in comes Virginia, and Virginia, they're still the defending champs. They come in ranked 8th. They're 11-2. In the last 2 weeks, they've started to steamroll teams. They're starting to look like that old Virginia team that stifles you on defense and hits the big threes and gets out in transition when necessary. We're going to lay the 5.5 on the road for Virginia, and go Cavs. Next, we head up to the Big Ten, Minnesota versus Purdue. Good matchup here. Purdue's won 4 out of 5 and come in at 11-6. Minnesota's lost 3 out of 4, come in at 11-5, but ranked 21st. Both teams going in kind of opposite directions right now, but Richard Pitino's still done a good job up there in Minneapolis. Not that Matt Painter hasn't in West Lafayette, but Minnesota's a much better team right now, and we're going to take the 3.5 as a short dog on the road. We keep taking them, and they keep covering for us. We're going to take Belmont today. Belmont versus Murray State. This is a rivalry down here in the South. Belmont is 3 miles away from me, right? Murray State is about an hour away from me, right? And these two teams always seem to be matched up against each other for the Ohio Valley Championship. And Murray State right now struggling. They're 7-7, and they're starting to see the OVC regular season slip away from them, which Belmont pretty much has a stranglehold on now. But they're going to wait for the tournament, and they're going to get them. But this is going to be a good test for Murray State, the Racers, to see how much they can keep up with the Bruins, because Belmont right now comes in at 17-1. They have the nation's longest, well, excuse me, sorry. They've won 14 in a row. It's not the nation's longest, but they've won 14 straight. Belmont is cruising. They're this far away from being ranked. They should be ranked at 17-1, and this game will go a long way to get them ranked. They're a short 3.5 point favorite on the road. We're going to take the Bruins and watch them dance. Last 2 games we're going to go with Wyoming versus San Diego State down in San Diego. This is going to be a good match. Well, it's actually not going to be a good matchup. San Diego State is starting to pull away from the rest of the conference from the Mountain West, and they're playing really good ball, and they're looking like the San Diego State teams that we've come to be familiar with over the years. And at 12-4, they're really pulling away. Wyoming's kind of headed in the other direction. They're 10-6 right now, haven't been playing that well, but 17.5 is a huge number. We're going to take every bit of them on the road in San Diego and hope that the Aztecs don't win by 20. Finally, the degenerate special of the week. UC Irvine is in Hawaii. This is a late night start, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock for you on the West Coast. We're going to take UCI. We're going to take the Anteaters of Irvine, lay the 3.5 on the road in Hawaii. Hawaii's 4-5, and UCI's 9-4. We've hit 3 of our last 4 degenerate specials, and last week wasn't even close. We took a 8-point dog and watched them win by 12 outright in Oregon State, beating Oregon. So the degenerate special is there for a reason. It's, we don't just take it for the hell of it. We take it because we believe that this is the way, in case you're having a bad day, that you can make up for it with one big bet on Saturday night. Well, UCI's the play tonight. Take the Anteaters, -3.5 on the road in Hawaii. There's your 17 plays for the week. It's been short, it's been concise, it's been sweet. Next week is the Super Bowl edition, so we'll get to that. This one, 17 picks for the week. We'll take another 10-7. We went 10-7 last week, and we'll keep doing that. Every single week, we go 10-7. All that's doing is just building and adding to our bankrolls, right? 11-6 would be sweeter, but 10-7 is just fine with us. So that's what we're shooting for. In the meantime, we got a shout out this week to my boy P. Let's call him P. Diddy. You can call him P. Time. He's the pride and joy of Berkeley, and currently living in Las Vegas, working for the Oakland Raiders. And he is a proud papa. As of last week, he is a proud papa of an adorable little baby girl who who sleeps a lot. He told me the other day that he's actually getting sleep. So, P, I want you and your wife, A, to chill, kick back, put your feet up, relax, toast some champagne, and enjoy your boy Stoney delivering W's. Until next week, all I can tell you is that there's money on the streets that can't be ignored. If you're going to win big, you got to bet big. And last but not least, good luck to you.